Today, we're breaking down bad play calling in the SWAC. One of my biggest pet peeves when I'm watching SWAC football is the play calling and the situational awareness. So, if you can see right here, one of the biggest things I always talk about is just how much space defenders are able to get within the SWAC and how defensive coordinators play 10 yards off of their DBs, and the offensive coordinators do not take advantage of it. So you have what you see here is a basic um, 2x1, because you can call it a 2x1 because of the simple fact that the tight ends at the bottom. But I mean, listen, this should be a simple catch and throw. Uh, he catches the ball, he throws it here. He can pick up about 4 to 5 yards. If this guy misses the tackle, you're probably going for 10 to 15. It's just as good as a run play, literally just as good as a run play. But as I run it forward, I don't think I don't think anybody ever sees it as such. Runs the ball, maybe gets a yard. But once again, here we are, top of you got the receiver at the top. I mean, you could even throw it if you don't even trust your quarterback's arm. You could throw it short side. He catch this hitch, he might pick up at least 4 yards right here. You know what I'm saying? And what you should be running is a one step smoke concept. You throw the ball short side, you pick up as much yards as you can, especially on the first down. You just want to get as much yards as you possibly can, get up the field. If you make a man miss, you're getting more yards. But this, I continue to speak on how bad the play calling is in the SWAC. This is fundamental. I mean, come on. This is elementary. This is Pop Warner type stuff. You catch and throw this. It's just too easy. But once again, play callers, Eric Dooley doesn't see it, doesn't call it. And then on the very next play, he calls a screen route, right? And it gets blown up and he loses yards. So make that make sense to me. So instead of you literally, this is what I'm talking about right here, right? Instead of throwing this pass behind the line, you could have simply thrown this pass, which is closer to the line of scrimmage, maybe a wheel route or something like that. These two guys block, or what we call it stop blocking. So whichever one comes first is the guy that you pick up or whatever. But he picks up this block. You got a wheel route. He seals whoever comes up. It's either him or the linebacker, and you're off to the races right here. Literally, you're off to the races. Even if you want to throw this inside screen, right? If you want to throw this inside screen and he stock blocks this guy, I mean, if you want to throw it out, I mean, there's so many other ways to throw this than to throw it back here, where you could throw it to the wide receiver side and he comes inside and he blocks out, and I mean, there's nothing but smooth sailing in here. But he wants to throw this thing 4 yards behind the line of scrimmage, and if he drops this thing, it's a fumble because it's behind. It's literally behind, so now it's considered a fumble if he doesn't. It's just, I don't like plays like this. I really don't. But the guy comes in, blows it up, does a great play, and he loses about 4 yards on the play. Just bad play calling overall. Just bad SWAC play calling as usual. All right. Next up, we're talking about Alabama State and PV. Now listen, as much as PV people like to brag about PV, they do this crap every single time. They run this base style defense. They run this base style defense where you usually always get three linebackers. They're always they're gonna drop out like this, and then they have these DBs playing 10 yards off up here, probably another 7 yards off. Like, this is easy pitch and catch type stuff, and you're on the short side of the field. Like, this isn't this. This should not be a difficult concept to where if you see it, you throw it. If you see it, you throw it. But constantly, coordinators in the SWAC don't have the common sense to just say, hey, Let me take the easy 4. Let me take the easy 3. Because my thing is this. PV is a great defensive team, and their defense, what makes them so great are these 4 guys right here. So if I can get this pass off fast, I negate these 4 rushers right here. I negate them. They're not a factor. They're not a factor in this play. All this guy, and if you put Hickson right here, Jeremiah Hickson, he makes this guy miss. You're probably going for 20 to 25, maybe a touchdown if he can get by. You put Santo Dunn out here, he's going for 6. You put guys out there that can make plays, they're going all the way if he can make this man miss. But they're giving, I mean, come on, man. This is ridiculous. Like, you're giving them 10 yards and you won't even take it. You won't even take it. This is easy money. Look at this. Easy money. But they run the ball. All right. Same play. Well, all right. Let me see if I can zoom out. No, I can't zoom out. All right. So, once again, no different. And this, listen, so you widen out, right? Now, mind you, Demetrius Davis is having problems throwing the ball. He's having problems seeing the field really well, right? These are the type of throws that you want to give Demetrius Davis. Easy stuff like this. They're already playing. This one I wouldn't really take because he can probably shoot this gap really quickly. So I wouldn't take this one. But definitely what I would do on this side is have him stock block. So whichever one comes first is the one he picks up. All right. And then run this, bubble route and have him throw it. All right. Like that's just simple, easy stuff that you want to get Demetrius Davis in the rhythm. And once again, what do you see? 3 linebackers, 9 times out of 10, they're in zone. All right, they're dropping back out. And once again, okay, now you definitely have the leverage. Once you see this guy stay inside the hashes and this guy's outside the hashes, this is an easy throw and an easy block. You block him, he has to beat this man to the spot. All right. So simple this. You go block him, you go out wide, and all this guy's job is to beat this guy in the angle. Because if this guy picks this up, he should be running for his dear life on the sideline. Easy pitch and catch. Easy pitch and catch. But they decide to run it again. All right. So next up, once again, this is a little tricky one, right? Because you could throw this smoke route, right? But you got to be careful and mindful if he's dropping to the flats. All right. So that's what you have to be very mindful of. But once again, Demetrius Davis can throw this pass. He can definitely, and what you could do is run this guy off and just throw the smoke route to this outside guy. So now he's one-on-one. Like these are concepts and plays, and you have to trust the guys that you have out on the outside to make a play for you, right? Because I mean, if he catches it and goes, it's still 3 yards. It's no different than if you was running the ball. But what you want to do is you want to make this front 4 very, very frustrated. Because if you keep catching and throwing, these guys don't get much of a pass rush when you catch and throw. It can't happen. If you catch and throw this thing, it's too fast for it to happen. So you simply have to negate that PV pass rush by getting the ball out fast. Even if this is a out route, a speed out, right? You run this guy off, you do a nice speed out. Because mind you, look at the leverage. The guy, he's not lined up over top of him, right? He's on the inside of him. So if I do a speed out and I run this guy off, we're good. We at least getting about 4 or 5 yards on this. I just don't understand it. I really just don't understand. And listen, a lot of people, these are simple audibles. Simple audibles. A hand signal, a special word. It could be on the right side, so it can be radar. So he knows, hey, I'm doing a speed out right now. All right. So when he comes up to the line, The quarterback sees it. He walks up. He says, easy, 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 easy. Radar, 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 radar. And everybody's echoing it. And he knows he's going to this guy right here on the radar call, right? He knows he's going to that guy. Does it? And he throws it really quick. All right, you can name it whatever you want. You can go up there and be like easy, easy, and you say easy. The quarterback is saying easy to let the lineman know to relax. Hey, pay attention. Easy, 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 easy. Texas, 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 Texas. He sets back up. Ready, set, and he throws that, and he throws the speed out. It's just, that's how that works. That's exactly how it works. All right. It's not that hard. It's an easy audible call, and a quarterback at this level should be able to read that and make the adjustment accordingly to make sure his offense is in the right position. Now, and then what you do is you keep setting this up. You keep setting it up, and that's how you get setup plays. Then you get the out and ups. Then you get the wheel routes. Then you start building on top of those concepts, right? So let me help you out. So you run this speed out 3 or 4 times, right? Then they think they know it's coming. So what does this guy try to do? He tries to cheat it. That's when you hit him with the wheel route. All right. So that's how you build on top of plays. All right. Once again, 1st and 15. Once again, like I said, PV plays this. They play this inside leverage with the linebacker. So you're constantly going to get this. As long as this guy runs them off or he makes the block, this is an easy 3 to 4 yard catch. It just is, man. I can't express it enough. All right, in this play. All right. I love stacks. Absolutely love stacks. This is not a hard read. I don't even know what the offensive coordinator should be kicking Demetrius Davis in his hind parts, because this is the easiest read in America. He's playing 10 yards off. He's playing 15 yards off. How are you not throwing this smoke route? How are you not throwing this smoke route? It's not even complicated. It's just like, I see it, I'm throwing it. He's making this difficult. If you don't feel comfortable, you got to be cognizant of this guy coming out in the flats, but you can throw it on the close side of the field. But if you really, this guy is playing inside shade or right on heads up, so he's not dropping out to the flats. So you got to get this ball out quick. I don't know what Demetrius Davis is looking at right here, but if I'm the offensive coordinator, I am smacking him in the helmet 50 million times on this play. Like, bro, what do you think? What were you looking at? Because a pre-snap read off the rip tells you this is open. This is open. Off the rip, it's open. It's not even a question. It's open. Why are you looking this way? It's open right here. Him and Jesus. Jesus, Peter, Paul, Joseph, Michael, all of them, they all surround him. His eyes never even come that way. His eyes never even go this. Look, he's going to the short side of the field, and he has 1, 2, 3, 4 defenders over here. Why? Doesn't make any sense. It's still him and Jesus. Listen, guys. When you're learning a playbook, if you don't understand, if you've never played a game of football, when you're learning a playbook, there's called a dump off, right? It's like when you don't see anything else, and then you got this dig coming on the backside that's open as well, right? When you don't know where to go with the ball, you always have an outlet. Some people call it dump off. Some people call it an outlet, but it should be an automatic read. I go 1, I go 2, I go 3, outlet. I go 1, I go 2, I go 3, outlet. I go 1, I go 2, I go outlet. It all depends on what team you're playing. If you're playing against a team like PV has a strong front 4, you're probably going to go 1 to 2 and outlet. All right, because he's leaking out. He's coming in the middle. This is what you build. You have these built-in outlet routes to where he can just dump it off really easy and let this man get the ball and get upfield and get some yards. But no, Demetrius Davis got to be Demetrius Davis, and he thinks it's high school. You know what I'm saying? Oh, this stuff just gets worse and worse. This stuff just gets worse and worse. Look, guys, I need y'all to look at this. Well, it's probably third and something. It's probably either third and 15. There's no reason you'll play this on a second down concept. Let me see. It's probably third, right? But listen, man. At the end of the day, you got to take this. You listen. You run him off. You run him off. You set him up, catch it, turn and run. I mean, that's really all you can do in this situation. Maybe get if you wanted to go for verticals, you know what I'm saying? Things like that. But this is I'll tell you one thing that really makes me upset, which you don't see a lot of, is you don't see a lot of this, right? Because what you try to do in these situations is you try to make the key is to make this guy make a decision, right? What is he going to do? Is he going to guard the vertical? Is he going to guard the dig or whatever? So the concepts that I usually like saying is you take this guy, you run him down the middle. So that usually makes the safety turn, right? You have this guy, bring him in a dig, and then you have this guy on the underneath. So one of these guys got to make a decision, or you can take this one guy in the middle and you can run a corner, right? And then you run him underneath, and then you run a go. You see what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, you want one of these guys to make decisions and who they're going to defend. But, you know, it is what it is. All right. So as you can see there in look zone. Yep. Hits the underneath route. Turns up. Short. All right. Let me show you some smart play calling. All right. Let me show you some smart play calling. And this is UIW against PV. Does this formation look familiar? Does this formation look familiar? It's the same formation Alabama State ran. Let me show you how you do it the right way. It's not even a hard read. Once again, I say it's not a hard read. Catch, throw, boom. Right? Catch, throw, boom. Same team. That means you should have been scouting this shit. Same team. He picks up 2 yards, right? So so you show them, hey, we're willing to throw this thing. All right. We're willing to throw this. And you're like, Scotty, it's only 2 yards. Play calling is for the next play, and for the next play, and for the next play. You take what the defense gives you. 2 yards. If he breaks that tackle, it's 5 or 10. You have to trust your playmakers. Right? Next play. Spread out formation. Just like everybody else in the Swac, what did they decide to do? They run it. Right? Because remember, you got the same leverage. You got the same leverage out here. So I just wanted to show you that you can still run the ball, you know. Boom. Gets about 4 to 5 yards. No big deal. Right? Same thing a Swac team would do. All right. What did I just say? Right? Not too long ago, I said on this same team, I said what? I said they play inside leverage. So what could you do? What's that look like? Is that a speed out? And you have blockers? Is that a speed out? Quick catch and throw? Oh, he's turning up the sideline? A gain of 15? That's high-level play calling. You see the deficiencies in this team. You see that they have a hard time with the linebackers on leverage. Look at where this linebacker, he blitzes, as a matter of fact. Let me see. Yeah, he blitzes, as a matter of fact. So this is a perfect play call at the right time. He blitzes, right? They throw it on the outside. He tries to roll down. He doesn't roll down in time. He gets picked off. Simple. Speed out, and we out to the races. All right. What? Have you seen this play before? This is called a setup. Now, if you remember, now this is all in the same drive, right? I want to be very clear with you guys. What you just saw was from the first play I showed you all the way to this play, they're on the same drive. The only thing that changed up was the quarter. If you check the time out the bottom, the only thing that changed was the quarter, so they switched the sides of the field. But this is all on the same drive. So they showed them this play earlier. So what do? He cheats it. Okay, I know this play. I know this play. I seen it. Psych. I lied. I went over top of your head. That's high level play calling. That is high level. That is, it's called a setup play. I run it because they ran this. If you go back and watch the whole game before they scored this touchdown, they probably ran it 2 more times before the one I just showed you, right? So they ran it the one time I showed you, and they ran it 2 more times from the first time. But that's called a setup play. That's how it's supposed to look. Because a defense thinks they know what's coming. You don't, right? Remember, the same play from the first drive. I know it looks a little fuzzy. I apologize. You know what I'm saying? It is an ESPN recording. But it's the exact same play, right, that they ran earlier, and now they get a touchdown off of it. Listen, guys, I cannot stress this enough. That you got it. Like, watching this offensive play calling is horrendous. It's literally horrendous because there's no method to the madness. There's no like, you're just I just see people calling plays just to call plays, not taking advantage of what the defense gives you. And how do you not see on tape that this PV team fail for the same stuff? They're having the same defense. They don't do anything exotic. PV does nothing exotic. They don't go from 3-3-5 to 4-2-5. They don't do any of that. They literally line up in a 4-4-3, 4-2-5, and they do what they do. So knowing that, you should go into games and look at other games. You look at the ACU footage, look at the UIW footage, and see what they did to make it effective and see if it can fit your team. But when you just come out here and do the same old dumb stuff and think it's going to work, it's not. It's absolutely not. But that is today's film breakdown. Swac bad play calling. All right. Remember, today, Wednesday, Mike Reed at 2 o'clock Eastern, 1 o'clock Central. And I'm probably going to have another film breakdown later in the week. All right. Or later today. But until next time, you know what I'm going to do. I'm going to holler. God bless.